to finish off, I've loved my time here, and the workshops are a wonderful way of connecting with people, of helping people go home and then reconnect and start taking in the bigger picture of what we as humans are all about, because it is huge. It is really massive. So, we often hear about the superfoods. Quinoa is a superfood, but go over to South America, it's not a superfood to them, it's their staple diet, and they don't look at it as superfood. We've got Australian native plums. Go to the Aboriginals, that's not a superfood. It's a food that they realize has its own magic, but it's not a superfood. Superfoods is basically every food in its whole state, every food that has not been denatured, and then we can even take that food and we can treble and multiply its vitamin C level, we can multiply its bacterial levels to the point where we are just consuming this amazingly abundant food, and really just moving away from denatured food that sits on shelves in packages in a temperate climate that is so unrealistic for food. We've never had this in history of mankind until the Industrial Revolution. So before that, people were still going to the markets every day. People were still had a relationship with their farmer, their butcher. Their animals probably were slaughtered at home. The dairy farmer didn't send his milk to be pasteurized. He drank his own milk, and that's how milk was sold. So hence we have these modern diseases. These diseases that we are seeing nowadays weren't around back in the 18th century, 19th century. They had their own illnesses, they had their own diseases, absolutely. But we have an epidemic now starting to kind of overtake the world because we are so malnourished. And with malnourishment comes something that we call obesity. And obesity isn't a disease where it is an overabundance of nutrients. It's actually an underabundance of nutrients. And this incredible intelligence in the human body is telling this person, you need to eat because I'm not getting enough nutrients from the food I'm eating. So we just go into this override of eat. But take something like this that is so nutritious and start changing the way you look at food, preparing your food, where you buy it. The body gets to the point where it is so complete after a meal, and it doesn't have to be a big bowl of food anymore, but we're getting so much in that small bowl of food, and we're helping our children. Most important, we're helping our children to grow strong bodies, strong minds, so that the next generation doesn't go through in a way what we've started to create now. So let's not get to the point where in a few years' time we're looking at every fourth child in Australia that is going to be diagnosed as obese. We have ADHD going through the roof. Let's not let the cycle continue. Instead, take back the control that we have of our food, of our farmers, our food supply, and let's start actually building up the human body to what it is completely and utterly capable of doing: healing disease, building strong immune systems, building incredible minds that are full of good hormones, great transmitters, neurotransmitters, great communication happening between the gut and the brain. And we can certainly do this with the wonders of food in its whole state. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I love helping people create abundance in their life, in their health, their relationships, for our farmers and our planet. So I hope you enjoy this journey with us, because we love what we are doing.